Top Rank Boxing had a solid card for us this past weekend when Seniesa Estrada took on Leonela Yudica. But before we get into it, welcome back to All It Takes No Whiffs. I'm Alex, and that's Christian. And like I said, this was probably one of her toughest fights so far. Yudica was a former world champion herself, stepping down in weight classes herself. But there also was a co-feature on this too when Andre Cortez took on Xavier Martinez. That was a really good fight too for Cortez. He had a solid knockout in that.
Yeah, really glad to see that for Cortez. Really nice performance against Martinez. But back to the main thing of this video, Seniesa Estrada. That was a competitive fight for her. She edged it out. I would say that's a fair scoring. All the judges seem to agree across the board. And although Utica gave her a tough fight, Estrada got to keep her WBC and WBA strawweight titles. So, yeah, I'm really glad to see that for Estrada because she got some other things lined up too.
Oh yeah, she's definitely got some bigger things lined up for her. She wants to become undisputed by the end of the year, but we'll get into that in a little bit, talk about this fight a little more. But Utica really brought this fight to her. She was the bigger fighter in this fight. You could definitely tell she was imposing it too. But Estrada, she has that weird style. She just is very awkward in the ring at times, and it was showcased in this. And her switching between orthodox and southpaw is just really, I wouldn't say confusing Utica, but it definitely was an advantage in this fight.
Yeah, that's definitely something that could throw off a fighter. Could have definitely been an advantage for Estrada, but honestly, it was a really back and forth fight. And Utica, although she was the bigger fighter, I would say Estrada having the speed advantage. That's what really made the difference. And all the credit to Utica, but Estrada, I would just say she was the better fighter overall. And even though she gave it to her, it was still Estrada who came out on top, and it was clear in my opinion. So, as far as what is next for Seniesa Estrada, she kind of already has some things in mind. Obviously she holds two belts in the weight class, and there's two more belts that she needs.
And those two belts are held by Yokista Vale. I don't know if I said her first name right. I apologize if I did, but she has the other two belts in this weight division. She was there at the fight too. Estrada called her out. I would love to see this. Estrada wants to become undisputed. It's one of her biggest goals ever since she started boxing at 8 years old, which is kind of crazy. I love her story, to be honest, but I would love to see her become undisputed, or if Vale can upset her and become undisputed too, that would be pretty cool too, because that'd be a major upset, I feel like.
Yeah, I would have to agree, but regardless, it's still a big fight for the strawweight division, which you don't hear too often. Looking forward to that hopefully soon. And something else to mention on the undercard, Abraham Nova with a nasty knockout. That was gross. I'm not gonna lie, and it's
Face
it's good to
plant.
see him. Yeah, it's good to see him doing well because I would say he's a pretty marketable fighter. You got the beard and all that. It's pretty fun.
And his own mascot. I love that.
Yeah, that's pretty wild,
The
but
only boxer in boxing that has their own mascot, I feel like.
Hey, low key, we need more of that. But
I like it. That's what he was saying.
yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully some more boxers, maybe some world champions coming through with some mascots. I feel like depending on the nickname, there could be some solid mascots for some boxers. But also Dante Benjamin Jr. running into some issues early on. Majority draw for him, and honestly, based off the scorecards, I don't want to say it. Looks like there might need to be some rewatching for us because that sounds like it could have been pretty bad. One judge had him losing while the other two had it a draw, and I'm not sure what to think about that for Benjamin, but I'm going to tune into that soon because that was pretty early on the card. I wasn't able to watch that.
Yeah, that was a little too early for me. I need to go back and watch that too. So hopefully Benjamin maybe can have a little better performance in his next outing, because I know this dude's been fighting like crazy here recently. He has a lot of fights recently. But if you're looking forward to Sneса Estrada and her undisputed title fight later on this year, whenever it gets announced, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because you know that we'll be
Mhm.
covering that. Also, go ahead and hit that like button too if you enjoyed this video, because we appreciate all the support in any way possible.
Oh, without a doubt, any and all support is appreciated. And also leave a comment down below. How do you think that potential undisputed matchup at strawweight would go between Estrada and Vale? There's definitely a lot to get into with that fight, so definitely drop your thoughts down below. But looking forward to what's next for Estrada. Until then, though, peace.
Peace.